Hey guys, Jonathan here, and in today's video, by special request, I'm making as many minifigures as possible based off of the game Marvel Rivals. This was really interesting because a lot of the game designs are pretty unique, but some of them are based off of the comics, so it was really fun to research each one and come up with as many as possible. With that being said, I hope you enjoy it, including my custom build of Jeff the Land Shark, and let's get into showing you how to make all of these starting now. Alright, we're actually going to go in alphabetical order, and just assume that the suit you're seeing is the main skin from the game unless I say otherwise. So alphabetically, that brings us to Adam Warlock. You'll need the cape, torso, head, and hair from the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 Adam Warlock. And it's actually pretty simple because it's just black arms and black legs beyond that. For Black Panther, I actually made the main skin as well as the alternate Galactic Claw skin, which I thought would be pretty fun and I think turned out pretty good. For the regular skin, we've just got black legs with the torso from the Golden Jaguar suit, aka Killmonger, with the head from Shuri Black Panther. Then for the Galactic Claw, we've got a flipped around torso and legs from the Ultra Agents Lego theme with this neck piece here, which is like the bird's nest piece, which was used on Kraven, funny enough, but it's been used in lots of other places. And of course, the head and the earpiece come from the powered up Black Panther from the first wave of Black Panther sets. So I wasn't really sure about making the actual Black Widow suit the base skin from the game, so I went ahead and just represented Black Widow with the alternate skin of her white suit, which of course is from the Black Widow movie, and this minifig is the official white suit Black Widow minifig from the quote-unquote Comic-Con set that was released online for a brief time, so it is quite rare, but technically it is an official Lego figure, so we're going to go ahead and count it. So for Hulk, I thought, well, we could just use a big fig or something, but I thought I would do an alternate suit, the Green Scar suit, to go ahead and show something from the comics, something from Marvel Rivals. Basically, this is his look from World War Hulk. So went ahead and used the torso and head from the 2025 Hulk, that being the one that comes in the Marvel logo set. Not really a great set as far as the price is concerned, but the minifig does work out pretty well here. The legs come from the CMF Goblin figure with a gunmetal gray arm there to show his armored side. This shoulder piece was used on Groot from Volume 3, although I believe it's come in some other places, and that's basically where all the parts come from. Alright, Captain America is up next. The legs do break the purist method. They are blue legs on top with red on bottom that I used a Sharpie to turn into black on top legs. I think that it does look pretty good here, although, like I said, you do have to break the purist method. The torso comes from the modern, quote-unquote, version of the 2012 Captain America suit. Then he's got the comic book Captain America head and the modern Captain America shield. Up next, we have Cloak and Dagger, which I really like how simple these are and how well they turned out with that in mind. Okay, so we've got the Dementor body with a flipped around torso, and then I just put the head on from Rhodey from Lego Marvel. Doesn't get much easier than that. Then I used regular white legs, a flipped around torso that's actually just a hoodie, but the blue accent works pretty well for the suit once it's all put together, and the head and hair come from Elsa from Frozen from the Disney CMF Series 2. Honestly, these are probably two of the easiest ones to make of the entire showcase. Alright, up next is Doctor Strange, and this one was deceptively fun and simple because I just used the flipped around torso with the legs, head, and hair from the old Doctor Strange from the MCU. Then, of course, with black arms on there to help darken the look. He's got the cape here, the red cape, as well as the cloak piece, or the collar piece, rather, there, but his collar in the video game actually has like 4 points to it. So to get a 4th point, I used the taller collar, say that 10 times fast, from Emperor Zurg from Toy Story, which I think looks pretty good. Then I gave him the medallion from one of the, like, Olympic competitors from the CMF series. So it all works out pretty well. Remember how I said Cloak and Dagger were some of the easiest to make? Well, Groot might be the easiest to make because I made no additions to the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 Groot. I think it works pretty well, so why mess with perfection? All right, up next, we've got Hawkeye, and I think that this hair actually works out pretty well for Hawkeye's look in the game, so we're going to use that. The head underneath is just a generic Star Wars trooper head, come in lots of different places. I wish that I had a purple bandana, but I don't even know if LEGO makes one. If they do, I certainly don't have it, so I used a blue one to get as close as possible. I used the 2020 Avengers video game torso for this figure with a black arm with printing on it from General Zod from the LEGO Batman movie CMF, with a black hand and a short sleeve black hand arm on this side that came from Ethan Hunt from LEGO Dimensions. Works out pretty well. Then, of course, a bow and arrow and black legs will finish off the figure. Up next, we've got Hela, and she's got a pretty intricate design in the game, but honestly, I just kind of left it as is from my custom from Hela. That, of course, uses the dark green cape, torso, head, and head piece from the Thor Ragnarok Hela from the way back year of 2017, but I added these arms from Korra from the LEGO Tron Legacy Ideas set because I just think it adds some extra detail. Ironically, it's actually less accurate for the video game, but I like the way it looks, and if you just want to put black arms on here, then you certainly can do that. Up next is Iron Man, who is also relatively easy to make, but the parts are a little difficult to get. Not like rare, but you might not have them in your collection. The helmet, torso, and legs all come from the comic book Iron Man that came in the LEGO Marvel Visual Dictionary in 2023, also in the Read, Build, Create book set, I guess is what you would call it, from 2024. Then the arms are dual molded with red on top, gold on bottom, and then red hands, and those are made up from the dual molded arms from the Monkey King character from the LEGO CMF series. Loki is another pretty simple one. It is the 2012 modern version of Loki from head to toe, but adding in this white collar piece, which has come in several places, but perhaps most commonly from this dude from the LEGO CMF series, like the Ice Warrior guy. The only other thing here that's worth noting, of course, is his staff, which I did break the purist method for by cutting off the bottom hook from here and inserting the blue piece. Well, that part doesn't break the purist method, but cutting off that piece does, but it does technically make it more accurate to the films, and, well, I just like it so much I try to show it in any medium that I can, including the video you're watching right this very second. Moon Knight is up next, and he does use some rare parts, but I think it turned out absolutely awesome. The torso, the cape, and the headpiece here all come from the Marvel CMF Series 2 version of Moon Knight. Then the head comes from the 2011 LEGO Star Wars V-Wing pilot. Then the arms, the dual-molded ones, come from Syndrome from the LEGO Disney CMF Series 1. Then we've got black hips and the legs from the football player, that is American football player, from the LEGO CMF series. Alright, we all know why you clicked on this video. It's for Jeff the Land Shark. This was a mock build that I made, and basically, my goal was to get him as close to minifig scale as possible. He's a little bit too big compared to a minifig, but honestly, I don't really know how you could make him any smaller while also having all of the details present. I'm also not really exactly sure how to tell you how I built it without completely deconstructing him, so I'll give you the full 360 view here so that you can see how he was built. You can see that we've got like a jumper piece here. It uses a lot of inverted methods for getting the feet and the face to be pointed in different directions, and I really, really like the way that it turned out. As you can see, it's got like those arch pieces, those 2x2 arch pieces in the center. We've got the fin, and my one regret is that it's not all the same shade of blue. It's just, I don't have a huge parts collection like you might imagine that I do. I mean, I do have a pretty sizable collection, but as far as variants of color and all that, unfortunately, I just don't. So hopefully you guys like this, and yeah, let me know what you guys think. Rocket Raccoon is up next, and when I first saw his design in the game, I'm like, I'm not sure how I'm going to make that. Then all the pieces literally just fell together. I gave him orange gloves with the arms, head, and tail from the most recent versions of Rocket Raccoon. Then the torso is the Thor Love and Thunder torso flipped around with short blue legs. Like I said, everything just kind of fell in place. Scarlet Witch came together pretty well too. The arms and the legs come from the CMF version of Scarlet Witch, while the torso, head, and the hairpiece all come from the Sanctum Sanctorum version of Scarlet Witch. Then, of course, I gave her the waist cape from the Endgame version of Scarlet Witch that really make the figure come together, and honestly, I think it's pretty darn accurate to the game. I just wish she had darker brown hair, but unfortunately, the only way to give her darker brown hair would be to lose the tiara, and to me, that trade-off just isn't worth it. Spider-Man in the game has a giant spider logo on his torso, but unfortunately, the only way to make that happen in LEGO is to have these blue colors clash. Man, I'm saying a lot of things you can't say 10 times fast in this video. Anyways, to get that giant spider, I used the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man torso from the Statue of Liberty No Way Home Final Battle set with the arms, legs, and head from the Zombie Hunter CMF version of Spider-Man. I think that those blend together super well, and honestly, I think that that's the best way to do it. I think that the light blue of the arms and legs kind of help combat the dark blue of the torso, and it doesn't look as bad once it's completed as you might think it would just in describing it, but I do recognize at the same time we've got clashing shades of blue, so let me know what you think of this or how you would attack it another way. Alright, up next is Squirrel Girl. This was a fun one to put together an update, and interestingly enough, the legs come from Dr. Sattler from Jurassic World from like the original movie sets, but the torso comes from Dr. Sattler from the final Dominion sets. That's kind of crazy. The hands come from Indiana Jones, although they've come in other places. The head, I believe her name is Janice from Friends. I haven't watched Friends in a long time. Ross's annoying girlfriend. Then the hair comes from the Cave Girl figure, which I think works really well. And we actually have a squirrel tail that comes from Legends of Chima. Overall, I think this one's super accurate and maybe one of the better figures of this entire showcase. That brings us to Star-Lord, where I used this Pirate's torso that I think worked out really well with the Star-Lord helmet, black hands, and the legs from Tron Legacy. And finally, we've got another simple one, that being Venom, and of course, all I did here was use the original Venom from 2013 with some black studs on his feet to make him a little bit taller. So with that being said, let's go ahead and round out the video. Alright guys, well let me know your thoughts on this showcase. Be sure to hit like and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys on the next video.